Imagine hearing footsteps above your bedroom every night. But every time you check, nobody's there. And then one day, your entire household vanishes from the face of the earth, except the thing in your attic, which kept living in your home. This isn't a campfire story. This happened, and it remains one of the most disturbing unsolved mysteries in European crime history. Tonight, we're going deep into the Hinterkaifeck murders, a case so terrifying investigators refuse to work it alone. Picture rural Bavaria in the early 1920s. Miles of empty forest, no neighbors in shouting distance. And right in the middle of all that isolation, a farm called Hinterkaifeck, a place so remote it didn't even have an official address. Living there were the Grubers, Andreas, the strict patriarch, his weary wife Kazilia, their daughter Victoria, and her little girl, also named Kazilia, plus a maid who stayed on the property. To outsiders, they looked like your standard farm family. But the farm held secrets, heavy ones. It started small, Andreas hearing noises in the attic late at night. Not old house settling noises. Footsteps, slow, deliberate, like someone was pacing, watching, listening. Then their house keys vanished. Doors were found unlocked in the morning. Footprints were seen in the snow, walking toward the house, but none walking back out. Andreas told his neighbors, but they laughed it off. Isolated farms get spooky, they said. But the Gruber family wasn't dealing with spooky. They were dealing with someone already inside their walls. Their long-time mate abruptly quit. She told friends she heard voices in the house when everyone was asleep, that things went missing, moved around, shifted locations without explanation. She didn't say the house was haunted. She said, someone is living here, someone who's not supposed to be. She left immediately. No notice, no discussion, just gone. A new maid, Maria Baumgartner, arrived on March 31st, 1922. Hours later, she'd be dead. The events of that night are still debated, but investigators agree on one chilling detail. Everyone was lured to the barn, one by one. How? No one knows. There was no screaming heard, no struggle, no signs of panic. It was almost as if the killer knew exactly how to get each person alone, how to approach them without raising an alarm. Inside the house, the maid and the child met the same fate, quietly, efficiently. But what came next? That's what turns this case from horrifying to something out of a nightmare. When neighbors finally checked the farm on April 4th, things got weird fast. The animals were fed. Fresh meals had been cooked. Bread was sliced. A fire had been lit each night. The beds? Slept in. Someone had been living in the house after the murders, staying comfortably, sleeping peacefully, as if they belonged there. This wasn't a killer who fled the scene. This was someone who treated the crime scene like home. Investigators believed the killer stayed there at least 3 days, maybe more. Detectives climbed into the attic with lanterns. What they found confirmed Andreas' fear. Fresh footprints, crumbs from recently eaten food, indentations on old blankets, a small space where dust had been cleared, as if someone had been lying there night after night, watching the family sleep beneath them, listening to their conversations, learning their routines. Police realized the truth. The killer had been living in the attic long before the murders, studying the household, waiting for the perfect moment. This wasn't just homicide. This was long-term stalking, infiltration, psychological domination. A blueprint for modern-day, living-in-your-walls cases. Even today, true crime analysts debate the possibilities. 1. A family acquaintance. Someone who knew the property well. Someone the family wouldn't fear approaching in the barn. 2. A local with a grudge. Some believe Andreas had enemies. Dangerous ones. 3. Victoria's rumored partner. Complicated relationships, jealousies, and inheritance disputes all surface here. 4. A drifter who never drifted out. A transit worker who found the perfect hideout. Except the murders were too clean for a random stranger. 5. The second life theory, that the killer may have been living in the attic for months, maybe longer. This theory scares modern profilers the most because the behavior is intimate, confident, and patient, not a snap decision. A long-term plan. The Hinterkaifeck case breaks every pattern. No defensive wounds, no forced entry, no robbery, no signs of staging, no panic, no escape tracks. A killer who stayed at the crime scene. And a full family murdered with strategy, not rage. Investigators say it feels less like a crime of passion and more like someone fulfilling a long-awaited purpose. A mission, something they've been preparing for from the moment they climbed into that attic for the first time. And the part that still gets brought up in modern criminology classes, the killer wasn't afraid of being caught. Not even a little. Asterisk, asterisk. They moved around the farm like it was theirs. Cooked the meals. Took care of animals. Slept in the beds. They didn't just commit murder. They claimed the property. Like they always believed it belonged to them. Some experts believe the killer was still on the property when neighbors arrived to investigate. Watching from the trees. Silent. Still. Close enough to hear their voices. Close enough to watch them uncover the bodies. Then slipping deeper into the woods once the search party left. Never seen again. Narrator. Low. Steady. The scariest part of the Hinterkaifeck murders isn't the brutality. It's the patience. The idea that someone could live in your home. Above you. Listening, studying, waiting. And you'd never know until the day everything stops. If cases like this keep you up at night, hit subscribe because there are more stories the world has tried to bury, and we're going to dig them all up.